it doesn't equal supporting the Democrats to vote for AOC over anyone the Republicans put up. And while that may be true, dirtbag, thanks for checking in, I think a lot of people have to remember
Dirt bagel.
What you're dealing with here is a situation where, do I think Alex is formidable? Yeah, I do. I'm sure she is. I wouldn't doubt it for a second.
In what way? What makes her, you think she's formidable as a candidate for president?
Considering where the Democratic Party is today,
I think that it will be the most laughable, absurd thing. I'm telling you, but I think that it'll be a complete folly, regardless of who's in that primary. You really think that she is going to stand a snowball's chance against people like Gavin Newsom and Gretchen Whitmer and Josh Shapiro and whatever? You really think? Because for me, all of them have no chance. None of them have a chance. You will not see another Democratic president in this country.
Well, as I've said, I think that she's trying to be a fence sitter. She's trying to play it both ways. She thinks that, and Jacob is right. She does have AOC went over the well-intentioned, ill-informed.
There's not enough of them.
Sure. Jacob Sanders, she has media attention in a big way. However, that is true. Yep. Which does have that. I'll tell you what AOC doesn't have, which I think is what's going to hurt her in the long run. I don't put a lot of stock into the whole social justice thing, but I will tell you, she has leaned into it so hard in such a profound way, including disparaging Bernie Sanders for accepting support from Joe Rogan back in 2020. And that has never changed.
And yet he's still out basically trying to help her in whatever ridiculous effort she's making.
He's prepping her 100%. That's the whole intention.
But let him prep her.
So when we're out there asking, you were asking questions of why is it that you're promoting this oligarchy talk? Well, this is the reason we're out here, and he gets questioned by the media, and Bernie has to say, well, we're going to figure that out down the road. No, Bernie, you go out there, you do your rallies, and you have a reason as to why you're doing them, not we're fighting oligarchs. What the hell does that even mean? If you are actually intending to do something, the key, this is why the oligarchy tour has kind of subsided to some degree at this point. It's because you don't have a mission. You don't have actually something that you're out there fighting for. But if the goal
they're not allowed to. What are they going to fight for? Because even if Bernie, when he was out there fighting for single payer healthcare and all of these things, right? He was out fighting for that. But if your fighting is only holding rallies and saying it, but then when it comes to actually doing anything legislatively, you don't do it, then it's kind of worthless. And so I don't see the point.
Alex Jones found our channel. Alex, I hope you enjoyed the clip we put out about you the other day. So with that said, yes, I would say under normal circumstances, if the Democratic Party wasn't completely,
he would be their best bet.
Andy Beshear would be their best choice.
But they're stupid. There's too stupid. And not even that. It's not even stupid. Well, the people that vote are stupid. The people that are in charge just don't give a shit because their portfolio, all they care about is how their portfolio is doing. And if their portfolio is going to do better under Trump than under Bernie, that's what they care about. And so none of the people that they're going to put up will ever be people that would interfere with their money. That's the whole point.
And I also think that the other element of why I don't think Alex has it, even though I think she's very popular and I think she will do well. If you've ever heard her speak, there is just something about her where you just don't take her seriously.
Because she's not real. She's a made up thing.
Well, let's watch the ad.
She's like the Spice Girls of politics.
Damn, that's offensive.
Oh, Idaho, I am so touched being here. I'm a girl from the Bronx.
You own your own bar.
To be welcomed here in this state, all of us together, seeing our common cause, this is what this country is all about. Don't let them...
Colin, I want to start this again. Is there a reason this ad is coming through in such a choppy way? Is there a reason for that?
It was fine on me, so it might be something. Let's try it again. Let me remove it and re-add it.
Okay.
She's another one that is very much going to be like how Kamala was, which is what I predicted in the very beginning. The more she talks and the more she's put in front of situations where she can't be reading from a teleprompter and she has to be actually interacting and answering questions, the more that happens, her numbers will continue to fall and fall and fall.
I hope that is the ticket, because if we want to completely destroy the Democratic Party altogether, that is definitely the way to do it. But let's try this again.
Oh, Idaho, I am so touched being here. I'm a girl from the Bronx. To be welcomed here.
You're a girl from Westchester County, New York. You're not from the Bronx.
And again,
in
look,
this
she
state-
also lied about the whole idea of her being a bartender. Yeah, of a bar she owned.
I don't think there's anything wrong with saying you're a
No,
bartender.
but then why make up your backstory? It's like she was trying to create an origin story, or not even her. I really think she's just a manufactured product of the Justice Democrats, that they just basically contrived her and made her up and stuck her in. I'm telling you, she's like the Spice Girls of politics.
Maybe so.
All of us together, seeing our common cause. This is what this country is all about. Don't let them trick us into thinking we are enemies. Don't let them trick us into thinking we can be separated into rural and urban, black and white and Latino. We are one.
Alexandria, they told us this was a conservative state. They got it wrong.
No, there's libs everywhere, Bernie. You could find libtards wherever you go. That's what my son
the Democrats only lose Idaho by about 45 points. But hey, maybe you'll make it 42 in the next election. You never know. You might get lucky there.
And Idaho, I know that looking around here, it can feel impossible for Republicans out here to be defeated. That's not true. It's simply not true. And from the waitress who is now speaking to you today from this podium, I can tell you, impossible is nothing.
I am so annoyed by this. Okay.
Impossible.
So do I get to say
Damn this thing. Go ahead.
Do I get to say that then too, guys? As the waitress sitting here before you today, I waited tables for longer than I practiced law. So if we want to talk about that, so it's like you're going to really refer to that. Point being, every single thing coming out of her mouth is a very contrived image that was created about her that, one, is not true, and she will not be able to step outside the box. And that is what happened with Kamala too. Now, ironically, Kamala is a litigator, so the fact that she can't have a conversation outside of a script is embarrassing for her.
That is all about stage fright. Like, she is some people are like that they get on stage and they just can't do it.
You know what? Then this is not the line.
Get out of politics.
Exactly. Then don't go into this. Like, if you can't handle blood, maybe medicine isn't your field.
But that also speaks to the bigger problem here, which is, and you've said this before, I've said this before, what type of people in general are attracted to politics, especially nowadays? The worst kind, the people who have no business.
But we cannot allow her to keep playing this working class bullshit vibe. It's just not true. No. It's just not true.
And she drives a Tesla.
Possible is nothing.
And as Alexandria just said, when we stand together, when we do not allow them to divide us up, there is no stopping us.
Miracles start with mustard seeds. And that is what each and every one of you represent today. Small miracles of faith in ourselves, in each other, and in the refusal to give up.
Great. So she gives this great speech, all the talking points, and she'll be able to continue going around and doing that. And it's all fun and games until she has to actually be in and sort of, off the cuff discussion. Also, the same points will get old. Just like Kamala chuckling and talking about her middle class.
Well, wait a minute. You're not inspired by the concept of mustard seeds, Jen? That didn't do it
I'm sick of looking at Alex. No, I'm not. And I think that it's pathetic. And I think that she is going to look like a fool.
Well, nobody makes an ad like that unless they're intending to use it for something else. And it is painfully obvious that she does intend at some point. I mean, look, is it possible that she may just be setting herself up for a run for the Senate in New York against Schumer? It's possible. But to me, that ad screams much more of, I'm going to actually try to run for president. That's what that's
Have at it, friend. Have at it. Because all that will happen is her numbers will tank. She'll end up she'll ruin whatever bit of legacy she might be able to have now amongst people that don't pay close enough attention. That's the problem. When people that aren't real, run for a higher office, then they're just putting themselves under a bigger microscope so that the rest of the people can see that there's nothing there. That's what happened with Kamala, which is why I said from the beginning, people like that, they can't run because throughout the entire campaign, their numbers will keep going down, not up. So, and that's what's going to happen to Alex. Her numbers can only go down.
That's true.
And they will.
And it's not even
unfortunate, but you know what? This is honestly, fly Icarus, fly.
Yeah, if you're going to do this and you're not going to be completely honest about what's really going on here, which is the fact that, again, the Democratic Party, when it comes to presidential elections, has super delegates. And the only way you're getting super delegate votes in the Democratic Party is if you cater and cave to corporate special interests like Wall Street, Silicon Valley, and the military industrial complex. And if you do not cater to them, they will end you. Politically, they do not care how many different ways. And I know that that's a joke, but really, how many different ways does the party have to show you that they will not change, even in this moment?
And at this point, then what she says by doing that is she's down with what they're about. She's down with genocide. She's down with all of their bullshit of screwing working class people. And she's just wanting to drive around and spew platitude salads like Kamala. And she will have the exact same fate that Kamala did. And I saw somebody in there saying she wants to be the next Barack Obama. I think you're right, except people aren't buying what she's selling anymore.
Running at the wrong time on that message.
Some people will buy it. But again, the longer she is in that kind of campaign, the more every time she speaks, she will lose numbers, not gain them.